is also a naysayer and you're an Antifa member, Isaiah?
Well, yeah, we spoke last week. Don't you remember?
I do remember, but there are probably a lot of Isaiahs in the Antifa movement. I mean, the movement is full of lots of people who are would-be terrorists. So what do you have to say today?
I have, Lars.
Yeah.
First question I have is, how dare you?
How dare me what?
I was listening to the news this morning, and you took a soundbite of what I said last week, and you said as an advertisement for your show, I should sue you for intellectual property.
You can't do it, because the minute you call into the show, you've given us your voice, and we can use it any way we choose. You gave us that permission by calling the show. We got that one covered. Believe me, Isaiah, we didn't drop into this business off a turnip truck.
Well, secondly,
by the way, you're in a promo. You ought to be glad you're in a promo for the Lars Larson Show. Does that give you a special status in the terrorist group known as Antifa?
Yeah, I like being promoted by the fascist mouthpiece of the Northwest. How did you like the right being pushed out of our great city last week with your authoritarian right government?
They didn't get pushed out. They went to the police and said, we're done with our rally and we're happy to leave. And then they left your group to do all the damage and the assaults. I think that's a good division of labor. Antifa does the damage, and Proud Boys just show up for the good stuff.
Bitter taste of defeat in your mouth. I can taste.
Why is it defeat? If they came, they saluted the flag, they sang the national anthem, they said a prayer, they didn't hurt anybody, they didn't damage any businesses. You're the folks who cost downtown businesses millions of dollars.
Not only that, but your group associates with non-white.
You didn't even answer my question, though, Isaiah. Does your group take responsibility for the millions of dollars it cost business?
Well, I believe some people will do whatever they feel is just to get the quality.
That isn't taking responsibility. Are you taking responsibility, and do you understand the damage you've done to fellow citizens of America?
I didn't damage any property, and I'm not responsible.
You and your group cost the city's businesses more than $3 million. Do you think you should at least verbally take responsibility for that?
No.
Why not?
Well, because there's the Antifa group is split up into many factions.
I don't care about your factions. You identify yourself as an Antifa member. Your group, as a group, cost businesses millions of dollars. You cost the city a couple of $1 million in extra overtime and chaos. You scared a lot of people away. Will you take responsibility for what you've done?
Well, I would say anything to hinder the growth pig that is the capitalist market is worth it. So,
see,
sure,
this. I got to tell you, Isaiah, this is one of the things I've tried to explain to people. Antifa isn't for anything. They hate the cops. They hate capitalism. They hate conservatives and anybody who supports Donald Trump. What is it that Antifa is for?
The complete dissolving of the United States entirely.
Well, there you go. We got a statement of philosophy from Antifa. I'm going to take that one to heart. Isaiah, thanks very much. You've been a great caller. We can get his address. We'll send him a challenge coin. It is First Amendment Friday. Glad to be with you live on the Radio Northwest Network throughout Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. And you're listening to the non-Antifa Lars Larson Show. Welcome back to the Lars Larson Show on First Amendment Friday. Boy, did Isaiah, the Antifa member, get people going. I was kind of curious about his, he was very candid when he admitted that Antifa's goal is the dissolution of the United States. I mean, if you take a look at the things that are said by Antifa members during their protests or even outside of the conversation I just had with Isaiah, which, by the way, we're going to pull that entire conversation. We're going to post it as a SoundCloud at larslarson.com. And also, we'll put it up on Twitter. We'll put it on Facebook. We'll make it generally available. Gideon says, are you going to post it? Yeah. He says, I want a soundbite to share with people because of how childish and unaware he is. And his little statement at the end was the perfect description of what they want. The dissolution of the United States. This one, Lars, Antifa Isaiah would probably be dead within 30 days of the United States Penal Code no longer existing. Their masks and bear spray would not cut it. And I would have to agree with that. And this one from Joel, Isaiah couldn't be more typical. He's already justified anything he wants to do by his own hate-based cause. And he just identified him and his organization as an enemy of America. You know, I'll tell you, that's exactly why Antifa should be badged as a terrorist group. That is exactly what they are. And Kevin Azar writes in, Lars, did that Antifa member just admit he's for the total destruction of the United States? Is that what I heard? Isn't that the definition of terrorist? Yes, as a matter of fact, it absolutely is. And Greg says you got $1 million soundbite from that Antifa loser. I'd say I got several $1 million soundbites, and I still wouldn't stay in a $1,000 a night hotel room like City Hall staffers do under the multimillionaire mayor, Ted Wheeler. Let's go to Tom in Springfield, listening on KPNW and the Radio Northwest Network. Hey, Tom, welcome to the program. What's on your mind on First Amendment Friday?